What is the best words that you can see in this episode? I mean, this photo. Is it population? Developed? Countries? Growth? Changes? Natural? Or is it social change? Dark ocean, dark. Social changes. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel, and today we will be talking about social change. So let's get started. Now, as much as I would love that social change never existed in this world, it does exist in this world, and I love it, and I love the part that it does exist in the world. But the part that I don't really like about social change is that how intense it is. So today we'll be splitting this video into 4 parts. Well, partially this part, the Black Lives Movement, or the role of racism, or the role of race, women's rights, I can't even say this word, LGBTQs, and roles of religion that created the world. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Alright, so now we're going to talk about race relations. Now, let's go into the camera view. Now, as long as this is just one of the best things that have ever happened to me, I'm not going to complain anything about this. But race relationships have been a bit dire to the accordingly bad days. But for now, there are some things that seem to happen that we don't seem to really know. And all I'm going to say here is that race relations are not as dire as you think. I mean, amendments have been created so that blacks can live more and more better in their lives. And as long as we are here, we can actually live way and way better than we could ever have done before. And just like that, it doesn't really seem to matter how much we really want to do stuff. It just seems to care of how we seem to be and how we are in this world. And that's my problem here. How we are in this world, or who we are in this world, doesn't affect us. I mean, does it affect us that if you're white, you're the superior one? If you're white, you're the superior one. Let me redraw that. You're white, you're the superior one, but if you're black, you're on the bad side. Well, that's just one of the ways that this world has even affected us for these past years. Just brighten this place up. And as much as I really want this to be here, it doesn't seem to be allowing us for that to happen. We all know how this is and how we could let us do all these in just the proper way. But it turns out that there is no proper way, and race relations, well, just have to go with it. And usually you don't really get much out of it. And so, yeah, that's basically it. So, what's up my point here? My point here is that it depends on you of what you want to be and what you become. So, just do whatever you want, and you'll probably be able to succeed. So yeah, that's about it. Now that we're back in the main screen, let's just go back and go into the women's rights. Now, what are women's rights anyway? Well, in 1920, women were able to get the right to vote via the 19th Amendment, but it actually happened 72 years before that time. Well, they were starting to fight for women. At least that's a more dramatic way to put it. And they were also sexually abused, and that's why #MeToo was invented, by the way. And because of that, there's not much that we can even think of. #MeToo is a pretty good thing that on social media, where we basically can just share all our stories of how we were sexually assaulted, not only for women but also for men. And I'm surprised that men are in this thing too. And women's rights are also human rights, and that's actually true here. And yeah, I'm not going to go into women's rights a long time because I have a time limit with 10 minutes. And now let's go to LGBTQs. Now back then, LGBTQs, or as what the acronym stands for, I'll say that. It stands for, I hope anybody who's watching this is an LGBTQ isn't offended by this. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer questioning person. And that's what an LGBTQ is. And back then, they were all assaulted because of just what they were. One thing why they were assaulted was because of the belief. Back then, communism scared the wits out of people. That the belief that LGBTQ people have way more blackmail from communists, so they will be more affected by communists. And they were scared to the wits by that. So everyone who was suspected of LGBTQ type was fired from their jobs. Teachers, government officials, workers in restaurants, shops, storekeepers were all fired. Even the bosses who were LGBTQs were fired. And that's a bit bad. And a little sad, I'll have to admit. Because they're just people too. And what's the proof that they get more communism blackmail? Exactly, none. Okay, now let's get to the roles of religion into this part. Now, we all know how religion affected our own world. In America, everybody wanted to come there so that they have freedom of religion. China was built on Confucianism. And Jerusalem was built on Judaism. Israel was also built on Judaism, by the way. Islam was put into the country of Islam. And actually, the rest of these, I'm not even sure what those are for. Even though I recognize a few of them from Avatar. And so yeah, that's the end of this episode. And what do you think about this? Well, tell me in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for me, for me, like social change, like things for my next videos, what you want for my next videos, post a video on YouTube with this hashtag. Oh, actually, yeah. Hashtag. No, let me write that better. Hashtag Sean suggestions. Hashtag Sean suggestions. Yeah. No capitals. And so yeah, I am looking forward to seeing your videos, and I'll see you in the next episode. So now out. Peace. ring the bell button, ring the bell button, ring the bell button. Share this episode with everyone else and comment down below. Click send. Click share, click the ring bell button, like and subscribe. Which video? Click.